Hey, it's Joy. Welcome back to another Whimsy Stamps video. Today I'm going to be sharing a Christmas in July card using the Holiday Snowglobe stamp and die set. So I start out my project by stamping down the snow globe using a Copic friendly ink. You could use whatever you have in your stash. And then I choose to color it with the E59 family. So on screen right now, you're seeing me extend the E59 with the E57 and working that into the center so that we get the idea of it being rounded. That top portion of the snow globe stand that you're seeing me color, that's actually a step that we didn't have to do because the die itself does not cut out that circle. I just wanted you to be aware of that. So I continue to extend my shadows with the E55, and I'm just closing in that center, and then I come in with the E53, and I just make sure to get a nice blend. And anywhere that you get a harsh blend, you just need to scrub over those colors to get that nice shine. Now I am using the die set from the Holiday Snowglobe, and I'm lining that up. You're going to notice that the bottom portion is flat. That's because it's going to fit down into the snow globe eventually. So here I'm showing you, you can either put it on top or you can put it behind, whichever way you like. I think I opted in the end to go with the snow globe in front of the stand. So next I decide to blend a snowy scene. So I start out with Summer Sky Memento ink, and then I move on with Danube Blue, and I end with Paris Dusk. Now, one thing to remember with dye inks, they sometimes can go on blotchy, but as they dry, they smooth back and they become a very nice blend. Here I am using some heavy body acrylic paint, and using my distress sprayer, I just add some water to it, and using a fan brush, I then splatter that on lightly so that I can get a snow effect. It's very simple, and then I put that off to the side so it can dry while I finish the rest of my card. So the star of the show is the Santa and Friends, and I'm using the Frosty and the Santa Claus that's looking up into the sky, and I color them. I also stamp the present 3 times. So when I color a snowman, I usually start out with a B00, and then I go in with a BV00 just to get some illusion of an icy color. And I do the exact same thing on his belly. I do leave the belly on the outside white, so it would give the illusion that it is rounded, because for the most part, snow is white. For the carrot, I used a Y19 and a YR07. If it was a bigger space, I would have used more. For his scarf, I am using a YG67, and I am just flicking in some texture and some folds. And then I am extending those folds with the YG63, making sure I get a nice blend. And then I use my YG61 as my highlight, and I do the same thing with that hat. I just use a YG67. Now for the fur, I use a C3, a C1, and a C0, and that's just so that we give it some texture. I do the exact same thing for the Santa hat, just some simple Copic blending. For his beard, I make sure to give it a rounded effect, so I made sure that I made my flicks go in opposite directions, like at the peak, and then I made sure to use that C3 underneath the mustache so that there would be a shadow. I extend that with the C1 and do the same thing with the C0. For the little tuft on the bottom of the Santa hat, I just dotted in those same colors, just made it really easy. For his face, I did an E04, and I made sure to actually put some of that on the tip of his nose because I think that Santa would have a rosy nose. And then I used some R21 to give him some cheeks. So all of my colors, it was E04, E11, 21, and 00 for the skin tones. I'm using my favorite red blends for the hat, and I start out with the R59, which is my darkest color, and I start putting in the folds. I extend that out with an E29, and then I use an E46, and I end that with an R24. I said E earlier, they were all R's. Now I'm just going to show you the ribbon. One of them, I start with a YR24 to put in the shadows because it gives it that golden tone. Then I use a Y19, a 15, and 11. And I use the same color blends. I fussy cut out the Santa, and I'm popping him up on foam. I just want to let you know that all of the products that I'm using are going to be linked in the description box below if you are interested. I did, with the scissors, kind of round that off to match the snow globe, and then I glued that onto the snow globe, and then I'm adding the stars that came with the stamp set. Now you're going to see later on I add some with a Posca pen and I add some dewdrops. Now I wanted some texture, so I'm using the Slimline Sweater embossing folder, so I had to put that in twice. So as you see me blend, you'll see that thick line. That's just where the folder overlapped. In the end, you really don't see that. I am using the exact same inks for that. And then I come in with the Believe word and shadow die. For the shadow, I used white, and for the word, black. I pop up the entire snow globe, and then I arrange the presents into the far left-hand corner. And from there, I glue those down. I pop up the Believe, and then this is where I start adding some of the gems. And with the Posca pen, I put in some of those stars. So I just wanted to say thank you for hanging out with us here at Whimsy. We love sharing our products with you and all of the inspiration, and we couldn't do it without you. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, we would truly appreciate it so that we could see you again sometime. So I am finishing up this card. I think it turned out really cute. I'm just using some clear dewdrop gems from my stash. Here are some final looks at my card. Like I said, I think that this turned out cute as could be. I'd like to know what you think. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye, friends.